equation.
On the contrary, you are the equation. This human growth accelerator, when combined with my cyberbiotic DNA matrix, will cause atomic particles to multiply at a fantastic rate. Changing you into a bioborg of towering size and immense power. Unfortunately, the growth accelerator is so potent that you will only live a few days. But in that brief moment of glory, you will do what no one else has ever done. Kidnap the President of the United States.
I'll never submit to your will, Cybron!
I admire your spunk. Unfortunately, your human side is already being overpowered by your Borg side. You will submit only to my demands.
That's the one, Father.
Good. Aboard that passenger ship is the key data I need to locate the whereabouts of the President.
How can you guarantee that our leaders will arrive safely at the peace conference?
The President's train is heavily guarded and will have an Air Force backup. I'm carrying in here the location of the conference and the train route which the President and your leaders will be taking. No one knows it, not even the President, until I deliver it personally.
We've searched the entire coast. No sign of the cyber shark.
We've got to find Kim. Who knows what Cybron will do to her?
Either there's something wrong with these binoculars, or we got a big problem.
I can't believe it. It's sliced ice. Ice, it's me, Sky. Man, does she touch?
Time to shut them down.
Skysurfer, is it true you have the antidote?
Yes.
Give it to me, Sky.
Not here. Too dangerous.
Help me, Sky. I need it now.
Return to the waters. We have a train.
this crazy nightmare. I was 50 feet tall and half Borg, and I tried to kidnap the president's train. Is that ridiculous?
Not really. Look, I'll explain over birthday cake. Let's go home.
Sliced Ice is one of the baddest characters in Skysurfer Rockets. Do you know that show? That show was released in 1995 to 1996. It's crazy. And we have this villain which is called Cybron. Cybron. Damn, I almost forgot the name. Cybron is crazy because he transformed Sliced Ice, aka Kimberly. The name, I have to know the actual name of the character. The character's name, that is a nickname. So if you see Sliced Ice, is a nickname of Kimberly, who was transformed into a giantess. And then I'm gonna explain the actual powers of Miss Kimberly, aka Sliced Ice. I'm gonna tell you. So first, I'm gonna say Sliced Ice. That is a nickname because this character had the ability to freeze stuff, to freeze anything, and he had this crazy blade that can kill any villain. So in this scene, as you can see, this is 5-minute scene that I showed you, and Sliced Ice was kidnapped, and then Cybron transformed him into a giantess. So now the Skysurfer Rockets had to find a way to stop the Giantess Sliced Ice, and also Cybron, who was a villain in this cartoon. I know most of the cartoons have villains, but I never expected to see a villain who can transform one of the superhero, one of the members of the actual task force into a giantess. That is kind of like, that is evil. That is really evil. How can a villain transform one of the superheroes, or maybe I can say one of the great dudes or great people in the animation, transform into a giant, and then influencing her to cause chaos, while she has to fight his own unit or his own task force, because he is part of, like, do you know the big three? It's crazy. If you haven't watched this cartoon, go and watch it. Even though if you don't know, right, if you don't know the actual show, just type Skysurfer Task Force, and it was released in 1995 and 1996. Go and watch it. It's really cool. As you can see from the anime, it's really crazy. It's different from actual other shows, because as you can see, we have I showed you different show, like from DC. We have Giganta, who first was a normal scientist, even though Kimberly, or aka Sliced Ice, was a scientist, and then became like this important member of this kind of force, and then started fighting this villain who was Cybron. Cybron was acting like a villain, so they had to fight him, and then, in the fighting process, she was captured and then transformed into a giantess, and it's crazy. This animation is crazy. I think I'm going to do a reaction of this show, but it's going to be on my second channel, because I think this main channel is only focusing on giantess characters itself in general, so I don't want to go out of niche, because the niche of this channel is just showcasing giantess characters in different films and also animation and cartoons all together in this channel. So I think the second channel is going to be only on reaction, animation, TV shows, live action, and all those juicy content, movies, anime, and animations and cartoons and animated movies, everything. So yeah. And I don't know why, because I like to reference these shows with different cartoons, because as you can see, like, if Kimberly was Kimberly was a scientist, and then transformed into like this one of the warriors who was in the unit of Skysurfer Task Force, and you can see this character is really unique, because he's very similar to a character called Giganta, because before Giganta became Giganta, before Giganta had giantess growth abilities, first she encountered, like, do you know the actual animation of Giganta? If you don't know, I'm gonna explain it a little bit. So if you don't know Giganta, right? Giganta was a scientist who tend to investigate or maybe do this archaeological discovery in different areas, and then he encountered a place which was like, I don't know, I can say traditional place where people tend to do these rituals and stuff, and then he found something, and then she was granted this ability to any moment she can transform into a giantess, and then she can shrink back. And while she was having that kind of ability, it had like different like side effect, because when Giganta transformed into a giantess, maybe she was so angry, and also like she was able to crash out at any moment, you know. As you can see in the different scene, you can see Giganta was like almost like one fused to crashing out. So that was crazy. As you can see, he first he didn't like Wonder Woman, he didn't like the Justice League. It's crazy. And I say the Justice League. By the way, I know most of the people who will watch this video will hate what I'm going to say, but I actually like the Zack Snyder Justice League because it's so cool and it's so dark and also so edgy. Yes, I don't know, because I know most of the people hate, and yes, they hate that, but it's my preference. So if you don't like it, it's okay. So yeah. So Giganta used to hate the Justice League, which had different superhero characters like Superman, Green Lantern who was a black dude, and also Wonder Woman, and we have Hulk Girl, and also Mr. Flash. Yes, the Flash. I almost forgot the Flash. That's crazy. It had the Flash, and and every time Giganta and his crew encountered the Justice League, she was like receiving an L, like be beaten out by Wonder Woman and Hulk Girl, you know. So those was crazy scenes. That's what you can see. At any moment, Giganta was in the blink of losing control and crashing out like crazy, and that's it. As you can see from referring to this animation, you can see Kimberly, aka Sliced Ice, was freaking out. Especially you can see the scene where, like, in the ocean, it was crazy, fighting his own task force. It's crazy. It was crazy. It is crazy though. I'm not gonna lie, but it's crazy. So you can see. So that's it. So you can see the difference. Like, most like I don't know what the animators or maybe filmmakers tend to portray, but some of the most of the movies that I watch, which have this kind of characters, they tend to crash out, or maybe they tend to be so angry. Like, as you can see, when you watch maybe Attack of the Fifth Woman, which was released in 1993, you can see Miss Archer starting crashing out and trying to find Harry and kidnap him, and then even though he was like taken out by like the National Guard, but he was like she succeeded in taking Harry as hostage. And you can see when we are watching which show Attack of the 60-foot centerfold, you can see one of the characters transform into a giant, and then another character started having like envy and jealousy, and then she found those like blue solution and took those solution and then transform into a giant, and then find another giant and fight another giant. They fight. There's like a huge gigantic fight, and that's crazy. I don't know why these Giantess characters tend to crash out every moment. And another reference is you can see in Attack of the 50-foot cheerleader, which was released in 2012. You can see like Cassie in the end, it resorted into fighting with another person who was a giant on a football field, and that was crazy. I don't know why most of the Giantess characters tend to crash out. It's crazy. As you can see, I don't know why, but most of the Giantess characters in different films, the filmmakers tend to portray them like aggressive, lose control, tend to crash out at any moment, you know. Freaking out is crazy. And I can refer this into another show, but it's not a show. It's a it's a TV series, which is called Oyayobihime, which was released in 1999, and we have Saeko. Even though it's not actually giantess, but we can see according to the shrunken student POV, as you can see, one of the character who was a girl who was shrunk down into a tiny size was stamped by Saeko, and that was so crazy because how can you have in like a lot of jealousy to stamp a person because you think like he's taking away everything from you? That is really crazy. So I don't know why most of the filmmakers tend to portray this character like losing control, but maybe I can put into reality, like what if a person just transforms into a giantess? How are they going to react, and how are they like going to like accept their new abilities that they got, or how can they strive in the society? Can people like welcome them like, hey, even though you're a giantess, but it's okay, even if you're a giant, everything's gonna be okay, we're gonna find it. I don't know about that. As you can see, I already even showed you like the realistic version, like how many people, like it was a compilation of different people who are like almost like most of like over 7 foot tall, and their encounter and their experience and how they're living in the society and actual like reality and how people treat them, because sometimes even though people may not like tend to show you how they see what by the naked eyes, like, okay, you're a giantess, I don't worry about that, and what, but behind closed doors, what are they going to say? Are they going to say trash about you because you're like gigantic, or maybe they're going next to stare? It's crazy, but I don't know anything about it. But all I can say is from my own experience by watching different characters. Hey, I almost forgot. Giantess battle attack. You can see one of the space giant, decided to find the other giant to go fight in this huge battle. It's crazy, and you can see in the same reference, like giantess are portrayed as people who can crash out at any moment, having violence and stuff. It's really crazy. I don't know why, but I think it's different because in some of the films like Alice in Wonderland, Alice was transformed into a giant and he didn't crash out. So I think this is like a different version of different filmmakers. They tend to portray these characters in different ways. Because in Alice in Wonderland, in all the trilogy, on all the movies that I watched, Alice transformed into a giantess after drinking this eat me cake, and also shrunk down by drinking this drink me, I don't know, solution. So after transforming in those two, she didn't even crash out. So it's okay. So I think like different filmmakers and directors tend to portray these characters in different way. One, maybe they can be aggressive and violence, it depends. And also other characters, they can like, okay, she's normal, she can like mingle and maybe try to find solution in different parts so that they can be safe. And I'm okay with it because the aim of like showcasing Giantess characters is to see how are they going to behave after becoming that character that they become. Because as you can see in different shows, you can see like most of those giantess characters, they were not born in gigantic. Maybe they were transformed, maybe experiment gone wrong and then influenced them to become a giantess, or maybe they influenced due to a certain incident influenced them to experience the giantess growth that transformed them into a giant, and they can't deal with it because they can't find solutions in this. And maybe you never know, what if you wake up in the morning and then you suddenly realize you're a giant and you're not like a normal person? How are you going to react normally? A normal person would not react to the same like another person. Maybe one of the person may crash out, and maybe some of people may tend to take advantage, like, hey, I'm a gigantic and I have these like superpowers, so you know what, I'm gonna rob bank, or maybe I'm going to do something crazy. And that is why I'm saying like different filmmakers tend to portray these characters in different ways. You can portray these characters like a normal, sweet, and also you can portray these characters like a violence because they're not aware. So we may tend to put these characters who are crashing out, or maybe tend to be aggressive in their gigantic form, as giantess who are unaware of what happened to them, or maybe unaware giantess. I want to put them in those categories because I think that is a great category because it shows like these are characters that are that transform into giantess or gigantic form, and they are unaware of that situation, so they can't cope of they can't cope to what happened, so they tend to lash out and they tend to crash out in any moment because they feel they are different from actual normal person or people. So yes, if you're watching this video and haven't subscribed, you are losing a lot because we attempt to make a lot of videos in this channel. And hey, if you're watching this video, leave a like to this video because if you do that, YouTube will recommend this video. As you can see, most of the videos that I post tend to get a lot of views because YouTube are recommending these videos, and it's because of you, because you're leaving a like to this video. Tell me in the comments what you think. Don't be afraid, tell me in the comments. Hey, if you have any suggestion, please comment down. Tell me, yeah, you know what? You should do a review of this show. Tell me you can do a reaction about this show. Tell me, recommend different movies that I should check out. Tell me anything that you like on the comments, but it has to be appropriate because you know we're a great community. We tend to have good behavior. So hey, tell me in the comments what you think about the video. Tell me your own thoughts on this video. Tell me in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to the second channel because the second channel is going crazy. So please subscribe, and also if you want to follow me on my Instagram page, you can follow me on my Instagram page. We have almost like 10,000 followers. Go there and subscribe. Follow. I didn't mean subscribe. And we have a new Twitch channel. I just created a Twitch channel, so I think soon we are going to focus on live streaming on Twitch. So please follow my Twitch channel. Go and follow me because soon we are going to start live streaming. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and make sure to stay safe and have a great day, because if you have a great day, I'm having a great day, because my only duty and my only task is to make you happy by giving you great reviews about different shows, gigantic characters who you love, and that's really my duty. So I love that. I love to make you happy by showing different characters in the movies that are really cool and amazing. So that's it. If you happy, I'm happy. So thank you very much.